Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first edition of our webinar series called Article Galaxy Stars Product Highlights. We're really glad that you could join us today. Before we officially start, as always, I'd like to give everyone a moment to actually join in on the meeting, on the webinar. If you want to go ahead and grab a glass of water, a coffee, something to drink, feel free to do that right now. We'll get started in about a minute. Until then, how's the weather in California right now? I always have in mind, I know we're in February, but it's like sunny California, but I might be wrong. Chris, how's it looking over there?
It's sunny California. We've had a lot of rain, which is great, awesome, but it's that's kind of slowed down, which is kind of nice too. So yeah. I don't want to use the word cold because I'm sure there's a lot of people on this call that are in real cold climates, but it's cooler for California. We'll say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So no more rain, at least not for right now.
Nice. Well, spring's hopefully to come soon. I'm sure. Yeah. Some people on the call here are maybe like even buried in snow, or feels that way at least.
Yeah.
Awesome. Got a good amount of people in here. I think we're ready to get started. If you just joined, welcome to this edition of our webinar series called Article Galaxy Stars Product Highlights. Thanks for joining in today. We'll be discussing the latest updates to our product, as well as best practices and quick tips to make the most out of your research workflows. Our goal is to provide helpful guidance to help you get the most out of our Article Galaxy product family. Before we get started, just like a couple of housekeeping items. You're all in listen-in mode, so you don't have to worry about the background noise whatsoever. We have Q&A enabled, so if any questions come up, we'll have dedicated time for Q&A. Feel free to add them in the little, like on the Zoom bar, it says Q&A. If you click on there, you can add all of your questions. You can choose if you want to do it anonymously, so feel free to add any questions at any time, and we'll cover them all in the end. And in case you have internet issues, you got to drop for some reason, we'll be sending over the recording after this webinar is done as well. So no need to worry about that. Introducing ourselves. My name is Julia Heason. I'm the Senior Growth Marketing Manager here at Research Solutions, and I'll be moderating our conversation today. And today's presenters are Chris Atwood, VP of Product Development at Research Solutions, as well as Karina Chavez and Juan Avila, Product Managers at Research Solutions. So thanks to our experts for joining the call today. And with that being said, I'd like to take a brief moment to introduce Research Solutions. Most of you are probably familiar with us. There might be a couple of you that aren't, so just a few sentences about Research Solutions. Founded in 2006, Research Solutions provide solutions that simplify and streamline how organizations discover, acquire, and manage scientific articles and data. We're a pioneer in providing seamless access to scientific content and knowledge management, saving time and money, and accelerating research. More than 70% of the world's top pharmaceutical companies, emerging life science firms, and other R&D-driven companies rely on us for one-click access to scientific literature, which is delivered within seconds right into the user's inbox. We also recently added Curedatis to the Research Solutions product family. Curedatis is a rapid literature review platform for the life sciences industry. And I'd like to hand it over to you, Chris, our VP of Product Development, to tell us a little bit more about our products and what we'll cover today.
Yeah, great. Thanks, Julia. Appreciate it. Well, good morning, good afternoon, everyone. I think, as Julia mentioned, my name's Chris Atwood. I really head up our Article Galaxy product here at Research Solutions. So really kind of all things Article Galaxy live in my domain, but I'm also joined with Juan and Carrie, who Julia introduced. And really, we're all part of that same group. We just have that group kind of broken up into three different swim lanes, if you will, or really kind of three product groups. And that's what we're going to introduce and talk to you about today, is really this product family from Article Galaxy, and what does that mean a little bit, but also more importantly, what are the new things that we've come out with? What are some things you may not know about? So we created these kind of quick tips for really each of these three groups. So we're going to look at Article Galaxy today, and Article Galaxy, is really kind of the primary piece of software we have today. It focuses around searching for literature, acquiring that content really in the most efficient way. And then Article Galaxy References is our newest product, and References really focuses around management of literature. So organizing content, putting those articles and citations into folders, collaborating with colleagues, that sort of stuff. And then the final really product piece that we'll look at is our extensibility products. So we have really a suite of products that Carrie will introduce today and show you some things that maybe you're not familiar with, maybe you didn't know we even offer, or maybe you're aware of but didn't know about certain features within that. So we're really going to introduce you to these three groups of things. We'll show you what's new in each of them, and then some quick tips, some things you may not know about the products that we think will be helpful to you and also to users in your organizations. So we're really going to walk you through all of those things today. And then, as Julia mentioned, we'll definitely leave some time for questions at the end. So with that said, let me bring up Article Galaxy on my screen here. And I have like 3 or 4 items that are newer things that I want to walk you through related to Article Galaxy that you may be saying, didn't know about that, or why did you guys do that? And the first thing that I want to talk about is our login page. Some of you on this call may never ever see our login page, and there's some reasons for that. Many of you might leverage a technology called single sign-on. So your users and yourself, you may never see the login page. But we have a lot of users, thousands of users that actually log in with an email address or a username and a password. So we changed this login page to make that process easier for users and for organizations. And really, let me explain what I mean by that. This page now asks the user to enter their email address. What it's doing is it's looking at that user profile to determine how does this user access Article Galaxy. And I'll give you a little bit more information. If it's a brand new user, someone that's never been in Article Galaxy before, and we put in an email address, so I kind of made up a fake one here, and then we click next, it takes that user to a sign up page to create an account. So if it's a brand new user, it says, hey, you can create an account in Article Galaxy. This is what we call an individual account. But we can configure accounts to really look that user profile up, or that email domain or those domains up, and take users to certain places, like maybe a sign up page of your own, to get users into the correct account on your side. So we've got some controls on this page to ensure that users in your company go to the right place and get added to the right account within our Article Galaxy system. We also do things on this page like look up users to see if they already exist. So in this case, this is my demo user, and it'll look up to see, do I exist? If I do exist, it says, well, do you exist, but does your account use single sign-on? And if you're familiar with single sign-on, it's this kind of computer process that does a little bit of back-end magic. I know that's a technical term, but it does some magic to get users into systems automatically, so you don't have to put in a password or any of that. So this system really looks at all that and determines, oh, this user is part of your company, bring them in automatically through the single sign-on process. Or this user is part of your organization or your company, show them a login page where they can enter their password. So we did this really to simplify these processes as far as getting users into Article Galaxy. And we really wanted to make it so it was just as easy as possible for users to get in, get those credentials, reset a password if they need to, really just to make the kind of the barrier to entry as easy as possible. So if you have more questions on this, or you're wondering if your account can kind of do some of the things I talked about, let us know. We'll leave some time at the end and make sure we get you in communication on who to reach out to and that sort of stuff. But really the main goal of this piece was to make it easier for users to get into Article Galaxy. So with that said, I'll get into Article Galaxy, and my internet's working a little slow today, so bear with me on that. There may be some people on this call that actually have never seen Article Galaxy before, and what is this tool? So I'll give a little bit of the lay of the land. My colleague Juan and colleague Carrie are going to talk a little bit more about some of the features within here. But just for the layout side, we have a menu of items here. The core focuses around finding articles. You can do searches and look up single articles and that sort of stuff. And then we have a section on the right called resources. These resources are customizable resources for your account. So these things can be set up on your account. So just in case you haven't seen this, that's the general lay of the land here. It's really all focused around helping users find scientific literature, acquire that content, and then manage that. And that's really what we'll talk about through most of this call here. So one of the hottest topics that we often talk to you about, or talk to users, or different people about, is open access. It's a heavy growing area in this industry. Lots of content, more and more content is being published open access. And that's an area that we are constantly focusing on the Article Galaxy side, as far as making sure we're always looking for the latest open access content, keeping our systems updated, making sure that our integrations with third parties are current and as accurate as possible. So we spent a lot of time in the past months, continuously revamping and working on some enhancements to open access. So this is one of those things that it's a little bit hard to show you all the work that's gone in behind the scenes, but ultimately Article Galaxy really does a good job of looking up specific articles to determine, is that article open access, and ultimately not charge you all for content that fits that criteria. So we look up open access articles at the article level. We also do quite a lot at the publisher level with our publishing partners, and we integrate with places like Unpaywall, if that's a name so we can determine, oh, is that particular article open access, that sort of stuff. So we're always doing a lot of work to ensure that when content is available open access, that we show you all in the UI, and that we don't charge for that content for users. So the key takeaway here really is that we did a lot of work. We continuously do work on this to really enhance this open access process, ultimately saving organizations money and getting users to that content in an expedited manner. So that's really, kind of one big piece that we're focusing on, that we're regularly looking at and growing, the product in and that sort of thing. Another thing that we recently released that I want to show you is related to currency in our system. So, Article Galaxy is really a US based product. So what that means is most of our pricing in places, it's going to show things in US dollars. That was the design of the system. Recently, we enhanced Article Galaxy to be able to do things like show pricing in euro or show pricing in Japanese yen. So at the account level, we can make some changes to certain accounts. So maybe to your company, for example, and we can show users pricing in a different currency. So let me show you an example here of what that might look like. So I reloaded my page and I made some changes, but this is the point where a user might want to order an article, or maybe if you have rentals enabled on your account, rent an article. We can change these things for your company if that matters. Some of you are joining us from European countries, and you may say, oh, this is something that we are interested in. We can do this on your account, show users pricing in their local currency for certain currencies. So in this case, we see euro pricing and it does the math. This is just example pricing, so just FYI on that, but we can do that on your account. That's something that has to be done on the account level. We can't have one user see in USD and another user see in euro, but it can be changed for all users within your organization. So it's a nice enhancement. A lot of customers have asked about this. You can also do things like pay your monthly invoice in that currency. So the UI can show it, it can give that information to users, and the invoice itself can be paid in the currency of choice. So just note that, wanted to show you that might be interesting for some users. I know a lot of companies are absolutely okay seeing things in US pricing because a lot of publisher content is, but we wanted to introduce you to that as well. I'm going to navigate back to the home page, and we've had a recent seminar or webinar related to reuse of literature. We have a revamped UI called our reuse rights UI. I wanted to just highlight that here. It lives in the menu over here, and it's called reuse rights. What it is it's an interface where users, people like maybe yourself on the call or maybe colleagues within your organization, they can navigate to this UI and they can look up how they can reuse specific articles, how they can reuse content from journals, book chapters, things like that. They can do those searches in here and really check that information out. So let me just show you an example. I'll briefly kind of touch on this. Obviously, if you're interested in knowing more, let us know. But users can come in here, and I'm pretty far zoomed in to kind of blow this up for you. But users can come in here, pull up a specific article, and then look at how they can reuse this article based on their organization's reuse rights. So we show some information about the organization. And then these are what we call intended uses. These are generic intended uses. For your organization, you might want that language customized, but we can do things like show the user, yeah, you can use this article for medical affairs or a regulatory submission. We revamped this whole UI. We also have worked with our partners to integrate the reuse information. So those of you that have reuse licenses with organizations like Copyright Clearance Center or the Copyright Licensing Agency of the UK, all of that information can be integrated in here to really showcase this piece to your users. So when users are coming to Article Galaxy to acquire literature, then they acquire it, they'll be able to easily see, oh, okay, well, how can I legally reuse that content? So this whole UI has been revamped. Lots of back-end work went into this to get a lot of data together for users. The reuse information is really available in all UIs of Article Galaxy. So at the point a user wants to buy an article, they can click a button and see this information right there. If they're doing a search in a place, same thing. They can search for articles and see, oh, how could I reuse that article? So it's a really, really great tool for users and a great way for organizations to help with compliancy and that sort of thing. So those are just a few of the new things of Article Galaxy that I wanted to introduce you to you. But I mentioned that each group is going to talk about some quick tips, or maybe what we call some things you might not know about Article Galaxy. With a lot of tools I use, I often go in there, I do one thing, and then I leave. And then I don't always know about some of the extra features. And we wanted to highlight a few things that you might not be aware of when it comes to Article Galaxy. So let me show you a couple items real quick. I'm going to do a search for my favorite topic, peanut allergy. And I'll just bring up some articles here. But what I really want to highlight here is that you'll see some results over in the right-hand side. So this search does a bunch of things. It pulls back articles, citation information. You can look at abstract details, related articles. We'll also show you pricing options if the item isn't already owned by your organization or if it's not open access, things like that. But what I think a lot of users don't know is that we have two different tools for searching. So we wanted to highlight this because we have a direct integration with PubMed. It's really a one-to-one search with PubMed. So when you search here, it's the same results that you would get at PubMed. We're constantly working to, enhance this search and make it better and do more. And we're working on a lot of things there. But we also have our Article Galaxy search, which is really built off of a few different database pieces, but primarily a whole bunch of data from a company called Crossref and some other places. So users can search in different options to look for articles that may be of interest. And keep in mind, we're doing things like filtering, oh, does your company have a subscription to that content and that sort of stuff. So wanted to highlight that you may not know we have two different options for searching, and it can be a good way to really help users dig deeper for literature. We're working on a whole lot more here when it comes to expanding search and search functionality, but wanted to highlight some things you may not know. Something else you may not know related to search is that some users come in here and they search for articles and say, I didn't find the article I want. What do I do? And Article Galaxy is designed as a system to let users order any article they want. So if they were looking for a specific article, couldn't find it, users can always click this and go straight to an order form and order any article that they want. So I like to highlight that because some systems, some tools out there don't really have that functionality. We want to make sure users know that they can order anything they need, regardless of it being found in a database or not, because content isn't always perfectly available in systems and tools. So might be another thing that maybe you didn't know. Something else I want to highlight that you may not know or may not be aware of is our order history of orders. We see a lot more users actually navigating to their order history. We call it My Orders section. We see a lot more activity these days in this section, but honestly, we think that a lot of users might not know that this exists, and they might not know that they can go to their order history and actually download their articles. So we wanted to highlight that because we do things like send an email and say, hey, here's your delivery, or here's your PDF, or in most cases, we honestly just serve the PDF up in the browser. But users can always go to their order history and download that PDF straight from their order history. So I wanted to highlight that. I also wanted to highlight a piece that users might not know about, and that is the see price and details information. This is kind of like a receipt for a lot of users. So it's a good way to see, these are the details of that article I ordered. And here's, pricing information. The page itself can be printed and saved or printed and filed if that's something you want to do. But we do find that many users actually utilize this page kind of as like a receipt or evidence that, I did purchase this item on this day and I did it for this intended use. So we wanted to highlight that in case you weren't aware of it. There's some other functionalities in this order history or My Orders section that are available to you. We won't highlight them all, but if there's some things here you see that you don't have active, let us know. We can turn them on. My colleague Juan's going to talk about saving references and why that's there and how that works. So he'll get to that in just a few minutes. Navigate back to the home page. And I want to highlight one other thing you may not know, and then I'm going to turn it over to Juan and let him speak to Article Galaxy references. But something you might not know about that lives in the menu is our Article Galaxy extensions. Carrie's going to talk a lot more about these extensions, but we have different tools for different users. So we have a browser extension and we have a Microsoft Word add-in. We also have an Outlook add-in that's just recently released. So Carrie will introduce you to all this and talk about all this. I really kind of wanted to try to bring all this together so you kind of know how each of these three groups works together and how we really continuously build this product. So with that said, I'm going to bring this slide deck right back up here. And internet's a little bit slow. Sorry about that. I'm going to hand this over to Juan to discuss Article Galaxy references. And really what Juan's going to do is he's going to tie, all of the stuff I just talked about finding articles, managing articles, that sort of thing. He'll tie that into how does all that work with Article Galaxy references, what new things there, and then we'll showcase some things that you might not be aware of. So did we lose Juan?
I think we actually did. Maybe that's like internet issues all over the place today.
Yeah, my internet's a little bit slow. So
yeah,
maybe we
just, I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I can.
Otherwise,
Well, let me jump into some things that, Juan was going to mention related to Article Galaxy references, and we'll see. Oh, we got him back. Technical difficulties. Juan, do we have you?
Sorry about that. Yeah.
Oh, no worries.
Okay. Yeah, I was about to jump in. Sorry about that.
I almost started demoing, so.
All right. Sorry about that. Let me start sharing my screen. Just bear with me.
Yeah, no problem. So like I said, Juan will tie all of the really kind of article galaxy functionality of ordering articles, acquiring that content, that sort of thing, to article galaxy references and how you can do things like manage that literature once you acquire it. So with that said, I hand it to you, Juan.
All right. Thanks, Chris. Appreciate that. I'm sorry about my technical difficulties, but here I am. So, well, hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining. Allow me to introduce myself again. My name is Juan Avila. I'm the product manager for our Article Galaxy Reference product. And today I'm going to talk about 3 recent highlights that we have released in the past couple of months and 3 quick tips. But before I go on, we might have people on the audience that are not familiar with Article Galaxy references at all, as Chris mentioned before. So that being said, let me give you a brief introduction to Article Galaxy references. So let's dive in. Well, I have here, as you can see, my main screen, which is Article Galaxy. So I'm going to click here on references. And well, first, let's answer the question, what is Article Galaxy references? In a few words, it's a reference management add-on that will help you organize and manage your citation information and scientific literature, allowing you to search, acquire, annotate, and share articles all in the same platform. So there's no need for you to go anywhere else. You can do all of that in the exact same platform as it is integrated to our main Article Galaxy platform. And essentially, it's a tool to help you boost your research. So now that it brings me directly to my company PDF library, which is the catalog of items or articles that my company or organization owns. So as you can see, it also shows me here the total records that my company, in this case, it's a demo account. So it shows me 679 items that my company owns. And this means that maybe some of them, they were acquired by colleagues or peers, but I can get access to them anywhere or whenever I need them. That's what this little clip icon means. It means that it is part of my company PDFs library. So if I click, for example, let's take this item here. As Chris just said, I mean, I can click here and it's going to show me some information about the article, the title, the authors, the publisher, DOIs, and this save reference I'm going to talk about. I'm going to detail a little bit more on this in a few more seconds. But before that, let me just continue giving you this overview on Article Galaxy references. So it is divided essentially into sections. One is at the top is the discovery section, and in the bottom we have the folder section. So here in the discovery section, it's meant to start searching for articles right away. So for example, our our favorite topic, peanut allergy, for example, I can just click on it and click search. It's gonna populate the results. I can search by DOI. I can search by keywords, etc. So also, as I mentioned before, I can search from my company PDF library directly, something that maybe has the peanut allergy topic, and it's going to show me all the documents, all the articles that the company owns that mentions or that are related to this topic, peanut allergy, as you can see. And also I can search in my orders. These are articles or items I ordered on the past. So I can also, search in my orders for articles. And essentially the goal of this is so I can manage them. I can organize them into folders. So now I'm moving to the folder section. So it has 2 subsections, as you can see. One is called My Folders, and the other one is called Share Folders. Well, My Folders are the user's personal folders, and no one else has access to them, hence the name. So in this case, what it means is that only me or only the user has access to these specific folders. I can actually, this is a cool feature, by the way, I can turn any personal folder into a shared folder using this this option here. As you can see, this is the folder sharing menu. So for example, I'm just gonna share it with Chris. I can choose the access level that I want to grant Chris. So in this case, I'm gonna grant him the administrator level. And he will be getting an email just confirming the invitation. And as you can see now, the knee surgery, my knee surgery folder, it was in my personal folders, but now it's moved to the shared folders. So in here, essentially now, Chris is gonna have access to these articles and these citations that I moved in here. So also he will be able to add or to look for more content and add it in this share folder as well. By the way, another cool feature that I want to mention, that I want to bring up, is that users or I have the ability to create more subfolders. That's how we organize it. So for example, this COVID-19 folder, I can create another subfolder called maybe 2023. And the cool thing about this is that also I can create subfolders within subfolders. So for example, within 2023, the subfolder, I want to create another subfolder called Q1. And so on and so forth. It has actually no limit on it. User can create every subfolder that they wish. So as I said, there's no limit on it. Also, another cool thing that we can do on Article Galaxy references is the ability to import citations contents from RIS and BIP text files into folders by just dragging and dropping the files. So I have here two files ready. One of them is a BIP text file, and the other one is an RIS file. So for example, let me show you. I'm going to create a new folder just for this quick demo. I'm going to call it new folder. It's right here. As you can see, it's empty. It's actually suggested me. Let's start, click the add button or drag and drop an RIS or BIP or PDF file here. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to drag and drop the BIP file. Just drag and drop it. And as you can see, it automatically adds the content that this citation information. This is just metadata, as you can see. This, remember when I mentioned this paperclip icon, it means that there are no PDFs linked to these citations. So it's only the metadata, the only thing that I have here, but I can go and order from here this from these citations. So, okay, now let me show you another features that we have here. So for example, I'm going to create, you can see that I have this parent folder called allergies. I'm going to create another subfolder called dairy. So I have it here. Now I'm going to search for some articles. So I have here dairy allergy. Let's see. Which one could be a good example? Okay, so let's use this one. As Chris mentioned before, and connecting the dots, as you can see now, I have several options here that I can do. I can either just click save the reference button, and it's gonna prompt me, cue me to which folder I want to add it. So you can see, I just can go ahead and click on diary, and it will go straight into the dairy folder. But also, this is another cool stuff, is I just can drag and drop it from the list, and I'm gonna drop it in the dairy folder. And it's gonna do its magic. And now I have it here, as you can see, on the dairy folder. So now I can click on get article and just order it. Okay, now I like to showcase that I have some other tabs in here, so I can essentially edit the metadata from the citation here. I can rename the title, just correct it if there's something wrong with it. I can write some notes under the citation level, and also I can attach files to it. I can attach, I don't know, Word documents. I can attach even MP3 files, a lot of format files that it can help us. It can help you in your research. Okay. Well, this is a quick overview of AGR, Article Galaxy references. Unfortunately, this is not a full demo due to our limit time we got right now. But if you are interested in booking a full AGR demo, please reach out through the Q&A or the chat, and we'll be happy to assist you. So now moving on to what's new in AGR. So now we have enhanced the search capabilities within the PDF library and folders by adding logical operators, the logical operators or and AND, and I'll show you how it works. So I'll go to the company PDF library. If I go and click here on this magnifying glass, and let's say, for example, that I'm gonna search for something with the word peanut on it. And I want it to be from the year, I don't know, 2020. So it's gonna show me all the items that meets this criteria. And as you can see, it actually works. This also works on any folder. So for example, if I go to COVID-19 and I search for something, I don't know, something with the author last name Smith, or the word cattle in the title, and from a year, let's say 2015. It's gonna show me. It's gonna get me the result from that query that I'm doing. So now the second one, the next feature that I like to show is something really cool. We have developed and implemented deduplication manager to allow our users to find references, duplicates within the folders, and to decide whether to delete them or to keep them. Let me show you. I'm going to select now the migraine folder. So I have this gear icon here, which is the menu icon. And you can see I have this dedupe references option. I'm going to click on it. And it's going to show me that I have 2 duplicates. In purpose, I have 4 duplicates or 4 repeated citation information. So if I click and view 2 duplicates, it's going to show me the duplicates. So now you might be asking yourselves why we just deleted away the duplicates. And the reason why we didn't want to do it this way is because maybe one of the items, one of the PDFs has annotations on it. So then we can let the user decide whether if they want to keep the one with annotation. I'm going to show you. This little icon here indicates that this specific or this particular citation or this particular PDF has annotations on it. So I'm going to open the PDF and I'm going to show you the annotations right here. I already annotated something. I'm going to annotate it again. And this one is the original or the source folder, the source file. So if I open it, I'm going to show you that it has no annotations on it. Okay, so no annotations. So in this case, it's going to ask me which one I want to keep. So in this case, let's say that I want to keep the one with the annotations, and I'm going to remove it. It's going to prompt me if I'm sure that I want to remove it permanently from my folder, and I'm going to click remove. And that's it. It's gone. So now the number 3, the last enhancement that I like to show in this webinar is the ability for users to scroll through a large number of tags. This enhancement was implemented thanks to the feedback we got from users. So it's a just pick up and we'll listen sort of thing. Realizing also there might be people who are not familiar with the term tag. So what is a tag? Well, let me go ahead and just share with you what it is. Well, a tag is a keyword or a phrase that helps identify and organize something relevant to a topic in particular and make it easier to find it. And in article galaxy references, the users can use tags for citations. So let me show you real quick. So as you can see, I'm clicking on the top 10 US painkillers. I have here a list of tags. So for example, on the improvement that we implemented, it's now the users can scroll through a large list of tags. Maybe this is not really it's not that straightforward right now because I don't have that many tags. But for users that have dozens, that have a ton of tags, this is really important because they can go and look for the total of the tags that they have. So just to give you an example, let's say that I have this one, this article that I'm interested in, and it's mentioning aspirin. So I'm going to click tag, and I'm going to add aspirin to it, the aspirin tag. Here it goes. Now, for example, I just want to search for items that has this tag, and it's showing me this exact item from here. And I could get it, and I could get it, and I can order it right away. So now I'm almost done because we have a really limited time here. So now this quick, I'm going to show you these 3 quick tips. Well, the first one is, did you know that you can drag and drop articles into personal and share folders right from My Orders? So also, I think Chris mentioned this already. This one is the last article that I ordered, I ordered. It's on my order history. So for example, this one mentions or is related to peanut allergy. So I can just drag and drop it to my peanut folder right from My Orders. The second one, quick tip. The second one is that did you know that you can bulk export of folder citation metadata in Excel, CSV, RTF, BibTeX, and RIS formats? So again, I'm going to go to, let's say, the knee surgery. So I can go and click export. In this case, I'm going to just showcase Excel format. It's generating my file. And I have it right here. It's exported with the metadata information. So as you can see, this is really important, the DOI, the title, journal, authors, year, etc. And finally, did you know that if you're the owner of a folder, you can also bulk export PDF files from the folder, not only the metadata. So in this case, let's say I want to export all the contents from my migraine folder. As you can see, all of them has had articles to it. So I'm going to click export. I'm going to click bulk export PDFs. And it's going to just warn me that it may take some time. I think it's not going to take that long because there are not too many articles in this folder intentionally. So there is. I got all those content, the content from that file on a zip file, and I got all the PDFs in a bulk export manner, an expedite manner. And well, that's all I got for today's presentation. I hope you found this information helpful. Now I'm gonna hand it over to my colleague Carrie to carry on with our webinar. The QA section is active throughout this webinar, so feel free to ask anything you like to know. And thank you again for your attention. And well, see you next time.
Thank you, Juan. Hi, everyone. I'm going to share my screen. And this is the last part of this webinar. So I'm going to talk about you a little bit of our extensibility products, and I'm going to switch from the stuff to our platform. So just for you to know, here at Research Solutions, we're working on developing solutions that make research more easy to achieve. So in our case, in this part of our product, we have we have solutions that can allow users that are more related on using search engines outside our current platform to look up for scientific information or to acquire scientific information. So in this case, I'm going to talk about the products that we have. We have the browser extension, and we have a couple of apps that are found in Microsoft Office Store. So for browser extension, these specifically a product, it will allow you to search for scientific information. I'm going to show you in a bit, in any type of website. So you can connect this information to Article Galaxy, and you can save your citations. You can ask for to request the PDF, and we have all of these options for browsers, so you can install it. For Microsoft Office Store, we right now have Word add-in, which is an extensibility product that can allow the user to, while writing a scientific document, insert citations and manage all the references. And finally, we have Outlook. So I'm going to show you a little bit about how it works. And let me start first with browser extension. So for browser extension, as I already shared with you, this extensibility product can be installed, and it will work in any of the browsers that I just mentioned. So in this case, the regular place that I usually look for scientific information will be PubMed. So I'm going to look up for my favorite type of search, which is WT1 vaccine. And as you can see, I already have it open, or I have already signed in. So it will display automatically the number of items that are identified as articles, as a citation. So in this case, I am able to connect directly with my Article Galaxy account. So it will ask me to sign in. I'm going to sign in. Take a little bit of seconds. So, okay, now it's loading. Okay, So in this case, I have the extraction of that information that the browser extension just found on my browser, and I can interact with this information. In this case, I can select the item. I can look for the reuse rights. I can look for the pricing. I can save this citation or this article for later to check it up. And I can also have information about how trendy this article is, how many times it has been mentioned, how many supporting articles have cited this material, and also how many articles have like negative comments or contrasting results compared to this type of research. So this is some of the functionality that we can have for browser extension. Another functionality that I wanted to share with you is that in case that you are looking for information, for instance, that is not very related to PubMed or maybe to a publisher page, if for example, we have like, if you're looking for patents in Google Patents, in this case, we also have this option where you can select the information that you are interested in acquiring or to access, and you will just click the icon for the browser extension, and it will automatically copy and paste this information so you can use it later. You can request information, you can access to this information, or even you can add this information or this reference, this citation directly to your reference in Article Galaxy Plus. Okay, you can click here, order the folder, and you are going to be able to access to that information. Okay. The good thing about browser extension, I'm going to go back to Article Galaxy dashboard, is that you can install it directly just clicking in this button and add to browser, and it will automatically detect the type of browser that you have installed in your computer or that you're using. So it will direct you to the installation. Okay. And if in case that you are willing to use this type of app, I will encourage you to look up for the extensions section here in the Article Galaxy platform, and just click here add to browser. Or in any case that you don't have any type of account still, you're like new user, you can go to researchsolutions.com, and here in the products menu, you can click on Article Galaxy browser extension. And here you will have also the option to install the extension too, just in case that you are willing to try it. Okay. The other product that I wanted to talk a bit about, besides the Word add-in, will be the Outlook add-in. In this case, you can find both of these products, Word add-in and Outlook add-in, directly in the Microsoft Office store while you are using the software, Outlook or Word. So in this case, you can install this app, and the main goal here is to make it easier for researchers, for librarians, for people that are willing to share citations and share information among the team, just to connect directly to your folders that are active in Article Galaxy platform, and share the citations that you have already over there. As you can see, you have like the title, the authors, some specifics of the citation information. We also have here the cite bash in case that you want to look up of how trendy this type of citation or information is. And you will only need to click here on and select your citation and then insert citation. So it will be inserted in your email body. In this case, you can also search by DOI or PubMed ID in case that you are willing to share articles that are not precisely in your library, and you can look up for them using our search for DOI or PubMed ID. You can select the citation and you can insert it too. And you can also, if you're willing to, select from our big catalog of different type of citation styles. So you can apply specific type of format for your citations, and then you can also like share it with your colleagues. Okay, and I think we're running out of time. In case that you are interested in knowing more about the browser extension, about our add-in, or about Outlook add-in, you can you won't hesitate to contact me or contact my teammates, so we can set up a call and I can show you more about how they work. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Carrie. And if you wouldn't mind pulling up those slides, just kind of like talking about next steps. And thank you everyone for adding all of your questions. We'll start going through some of these. In case you have to jump, and I mentioned this in the chat, feel free to send me an email. You can hit reply to the email that you received about the webinar, or you can add it in the chat here, reach out to your account manager if you have one. Any way you want to reach out, feel free to share your questions with us. Some of you have submitted anonymously, so just for us to know who to reach out to and make sure we get all of your questions answered, just in case you have to jump earlier. So let's get started with some of the first questions here. Is there a workaround if a company has disabled adding items from Microsoft add-in store? Is there an alternative way to install?
I'm not sure, Carrie.
Yeah,
Carrie, if you know the answer to that, but I think it's something that we would absolutely work with you to help get resolved. These things do live in the Microsoft store, so there may be ways around that, but it does kind of require that browser piece to install. So if it's something you're interested in, reach out to us, contact our customer support and/or your account manager, and we can definitely look at that. We're pretty good at finding solutions to get this stuff in place for you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Chris. The next question is, are there imports customized to platforms like ProQuest Dialog or Ovid?
Yeah, I mean, that's a really great question. And there absolutely are import options. You know, some of the stuff Juan showed related to RIS files and BibTeX files are really great ways to move large amounts of data. You know, as far as like direct one-to-one imports, those things are tricky to do, but moving content can be as simple as drag and drop. It also can be as simple as just exporting that metadata and dropping a file. So, but you know, once again, with all this stuff, reach out, let us know if there's specific use cases, and we'd love to know more and see how we can partner with these companies to make your life easier. Awesome. Thanks, Chris.
Another question is, how do you recommend searching for book chapters across several publisher sites?
I mean, that's a great question. And I think, you know, I think both Juan and I probably talked a little longer than we thought we would. And I think Carrie really helped emphasize some of the extensibility products and why they exist and why they're there. But I think searching across any site is, and leveraging the browser extension is a great tool. So if you're kind of thinking, hey, I'm looking for books, book chapters, whatever it might be at a specific publisher site, that browser extension tool is going to be a great tool to help you really learn more about the content and then also acquire it if you need. I hope that answers the question, but that's the way I interpret it for sure.
Yeah, awesome. If there are any follow-up questions, the same here, feel free to add it in the chat or reach out to us and we're happy to dive into more detail there. Okay, good. Next question, probably for Juan. Can you upload references folders containing PDFs from your computer into the references folder?
Well, that's a great question. And the answer will be, well, yes. I mean, you can upload your folders, I mean, your PDF files into your personal folders. The short answer is yes.
Amazing. To prevent duplicate article purchases, is there automatic deduplication done at point? I'm not sure if I'm getting that right, but basically, is there a way to prevent duplicate article purchases?
Yeah, that's a great question. And really, all of the systems and things we talked about today are all designed to really prevent that duplicate purchasing and all that sort of stuff. That's one of the strong suits of Article Galaxy in general, is we really want to make sure that, you know, users know if something's already owned or been purchased. we can resurface that in a compliant way for your organization. So it's all
Mhm.
built in automatic.
Perfect. Okay, let's take one last question here. If we didn't get to yours, really sorry about that. Feel free to reach out. We'll get to answer all of your questions, so don't worry about that. Okay, so last question for today. Can you create and save Excel templates for the selected fields in the needed order?
Yeah, I think we need to know more on that question to understand what the need is for sure. So maybe if we want to look at one more question, that might be better.
Yeah.
So in that one, let's reach out to us. Let us know what your needs are. There's definitely some options there, but I think there's some detail that we need to know.
Mhm. Yeah, fair enough. Given we're on time, and I'm pretty sure some have like another meeting booked, and I really want to, be conscious about that. So kind of next steps, if you're already a customer and you have any questions, you would like to learn more about any of the things that we covered today, feel free to reach out either to your account manager, or if you're not familiar, like who that is, I'm just like sending this as we speak right now. You can reach out to customer support. The email is customersupport@reprintsdesk.com. I added in the chat, so you can reach out there at any time as well. If you're new to Research Solutions, you'd like to learn more, you can ask for a free trial of 14 days. You can ask for a more detailed demo. So I also added a link here to reach out to our team, researchsolutions.com/sales. So feel free to reach out the preferred way for you. And thank you so much for your time. Sorry for going a little bit overboard here. Feel free to reach out. And yeah, thanks to our presenters, Chris, Juan, and Carrie, for all those informations and the quick tips. And yeah, have a great rest of your day or afternoon all.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Elle.
Thank you. See you.